All right, here we go. Trimming some pretty cool, nice big certified Angus beef ribs. We got a 4-bone split. So we're gonna do first, I like to peel the silver skin off the back. A lot of guys, they don't. They say it holds it together, it doesn't matter, you're not eating it. It's just a habit I do with pork ribs. It's a habit I'm gonna have with beef ribs. A little bit of a pain in the butt to get off, as you can see. Try in that butter knife, get some of that stuff. I personally am in the opinion this will affect some of the smoke coming through. So if that's the case, let's just get rid of it. I'm still going to apply seasoning to it because, well, why not? As you can see, much more of a pain to get off than off of pork ribs, but a lot more meat on these than there is on the pork ribs, so it is what it is. Alright, now that we got that off, I'm going to go just to straight trim and pull out my handy boning knife. Just get off some of this crap. Now a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to eat that anyways. What do I need it for? I like to think that any of that stuff hanging off, there's a chance of it burning. It's going to give you some bitter smoke in there. So it's just best to just get rid of it. Make sure you got a nice sharp knife. These beef ribs basically come off the brisket. If you ever trimmed a brisket, you're going to know how hard it is on your knife. So, nice sharp knife make life much easier. So you can see with a lot of this fat on here, much like a brisket, a lot of this isn't going to render off. Your seasoning is not going to stick tight to it. So we want to get a good chunk of it off. Especially like you see that really textured stuff. You want to get a bunch of that silver skin off that's kind of underneath. That's not going to help the seasoning stick. It's not going to do anything but just help it wash off. A couple of years ago I took a big chunk out of my finger cutting the fat off beef ribs. So you can see where I tend to make it a point to cut away from myself. It's probably the worst cut I've ever had. And I was out at an event and had to glue my finger back together and tape it up like crazy. So if you come back to another part of the video and you see me with tape all on my finger, assume it just happened again. Now we're going to get down to this smaller side down here. You can kind of see from the side there is a fair bit more fat. I'm going to leave a little bit of that simply so that I don't carve out a bunch of the meat and leave a place to pool up or a place that's going to be cooked much faster than the rest of it. I want to make this as level as we can. Nice thing with a boning knife, you get that sharp point so you can kind of get in fine. And give you a little bit more to work with. Just like that. Look at that marbling in there. It's a beautiful certified Angus beef. Now I do want to get this bit of silver skin out here. Try and take as little of the meat off as possible. It's over here. Not the finest little bit of hack job in there, but still makes some good eating. I'll just see if we can get just a little bit more of this tough fat off. But like I said, where we've got that, I don't want to bow that out. You can see how much closer it gets to the bone. You're going to end up with one rib then with really no meat. It's going to cook much faster. Rather leave a little fat on it. Have it be a little bit not as good a quality, but still highly tasty and edible. With a dry piece just sitting on the bone. Okay. All right. I think that's gonna do me some good. I definitely would serve that to my family. Just a little bit on the side here. I just want to kind of take that off. That's not going to do anything. Alright. What I'm going to do, give her the old Q glue. A little bit of the good old yellow mustard. So I like to flip it upside down. Do the bottom first. That way we put it back over the cutting board. Where that bone arcs, it's not going to affect our seasoning getting wiped off on the cutting board. Get a little bit on the sides here. Today we're going to cook this in our pit barrel. Temperature should even out about 275, I think. And it'll hoping for a 6-hour cook. Now it is minus 25, so anything could happen. That's what we're aiming for. We'll see come the end of the video what we actually hit. Alright, we'll use some of our brisket rub. Basically, the plate rib here is just off of the brisket anyways, so very, very similar in that fatty, succulent flavor. So we're going to treat it with the same profile. Give it a good dose of that. Don't be afraid to hit the edges. Now, I like to hit 2 edges before I flip, and then I'll hit the other 2 after, but I'll use what's on my cutting board after to get those last 2 sides, all that excess stuff. As much as I want to sell a bunch of our rub, I'm not going to teach anybody to waste it, so I'll show you how to get as much out of it as you can. So we're going to hit these other sides. The mustard, if you're not a mustard fan, don't worry about it. You're not going to taste it. Really, you're not. You're going to get, it helps stick with the seasoning. And then it's also going to, I find it helps almost cheat, give you a little bit more of that dark color. You can see we got some big flakes of kosher salt in here. Great with beef. We didn't get much pop off, so I'm just going to hit this side. And then I'm going to get salt all over the table. Not intentionally, but put that over, just touch her up a bit. Look for spots of it. I'm going to let it sit for about 5-10 minutes, let that seasoning absorb in, and it's time to hit the smoker. Ooh, those look good. Yep. Yes, those do. I hate doing that stuff, especially if it's hot. Oh, those look good. Yep. Yes, those do.